You smashed it? Oh man, you went live.
I went live, yes.
You did it, man. So I sound all right?
Oh, you sound fine.
Audio levels sound good?
Audio sounds great. I hope mine sounds good because I decided to use my never gets used snowball mic versus my laptop one. So if my audio sucks, guys, just scream at me in the chat.
How about chat? How's it sound in chat? Is everything sounding all right on my end? Does it sound normal or does it sound different?
Give them like 5 minutes because they're all in Australia and it takes them forever to get the signal to them.
Oh, how could you, Calvin? How could you? Jimmy in the house.
Wellbot had both me and Jimmy just in stitches before the stream started with his stuff that he was saying in chat. It was lit.
They don't trip off. They ain't a rip off. Now, here's the reason why I'm asking is because recently I was contacted by a company and they sent me a microphone. And by the way, it's not this microphone. So I'm honestly sounding exactly the same?
To me and to everybody else, your placebo test has worked.
See, I'm not even using my Tascam. I usually have the Tascam running this microphone right here.
Hey, you know what? I'm not using my Tascam either. Oh, wait, never mind.
I'm using a USB microphone. This is the very first time I've ever tried a USB microphone. And I kid you not, it's like $21.99 on Amazon. It's cheap.
That's literally half the price of my snowball, which I would love to do maybe next time that, hey, here's a good idea. Next time you come on up to drop off the Nugs holder, or if I go down your way, I'll bring my microphone or you bring your microphone. We can plug them into my laptop and we can record with just the straight laptop microphone for control. Then we can film with my snowball and then we can film with your mic and we can see, and we can, just put it in a little corner, this is what we're running. Like this is the control. And then this is mic 1 and mic 2. And then at the end, we say which one was which. So that way people don't automatically go, oh, this one, there's no intentional bias put in there. You can say, okay, what do you guys think was better? And then in the comments, you can say mic 1 and mic 2, what they were. So that way you can leave it up to everybody to make their own opinion without, and you can say, yeah, I like it and I don't. But that way it makes it more of an unbiased test for people watching it,
Bobot says, sounds good to me. Very clear. Hard to say if it's different without direct comparison. That's true. I could do it. I could do a direct comparison really quick. It only take me like 10 seconds to do it, I bet. Anyway, this microphone is this one. What was that? Fifine? That's actually, I'm kind of impressed with it. I just barely unboxed the thing like 20 minutes ago. Set up really fast.
And stupid me just realizes that I had the camera locked on you the whole time for some stupid reason.
Oh, Calvin.
I know it's been a long few days here dealing with plumbing issues and packing stuff and printing things and machining stuff and plumbing issues. And you get the idea.
Yeah, I do.
Not been fun, but whatever.
Okay, I'm switching microphones. Let's see. There it is. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, so now it should be that one. Nope. I think I went quiet, didn't I?
No, I can still hear you.
Can you?
Yeah.
Well, let's find out if it's the USB one or this other one. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, if you can still hear me, it's not the USB.
I can still hear you.
Okay. So sound-wise, the same? Different?
Honestly, sounds the same to me.
Really?
Yeah. No, people are saying sounds the same.
Oh, that's cool.
I almost wonder if they're using the same pickup element in both microphones, and they just have that one set up as a USB one, and then the one that you're using with the Tascam is just set up as a regular mic.
Could be. Of course, we got to keep in mind too, this one wasn't an expensive one anyway. This one here was off of wish.com and it's like a $12 microphone.
What the Behringer that you and I use is what, like $20?
Yeah. Or yeah, they're $19.99.
And honestly, I thought for $20, I'm like, oh yeah, that's not going to be that impressive. And I get the thing, and I use it at the Science Center, which is really loud, or you used it at Maker Faire, and it actually does a very good job for being a $20 microphone. Sure, it's not going to be like a really expensive one, but if you're getting into it, $20, very, very good price for actually what's a very nice microphone, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. The only thing is that you have to have something that has the. Does that have phantom power on the Behringer, or was that without phantom power?
That one's technically, it does not need phantom power, but it needs some kind of power source. It doesn't need phantom though running through it, but it needs some kind of background power source to drive the elements. But phantom is totally different.
Oh, TK's wanting to know what the webcam audio sounds like. Oh, this is going to be horrendous. Let's try that. Let's see. Okay, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, so there's the audio from the webcam. Does it sound real tinny, echoey?
Sounds like you're in a fishbowl.
I pretty much am. The building has a lot of echo to it. That's the reason why I use this kind of a microphone.
I mean, you can get by with it, but it definitely sounds like you're some shady Skype salesman guy in some country trying to like swindle me out of my money, and you haven't made enough money yet to get a decent mic.
I'm going to see if it'll let me plug back over to the USB one here. I've never hot swapped microphones before on this. This is the first time I've ever played around with this kind of stuff.
Jimmy is now 5 years old and is remembering childhood when he had to play with his dad's stereo setup. This is fun.
Okay, so how about that? Does that sound the same?
I noticed no difference.
See there? Back over to the USB. That's cool.
I like it. It's
got a new toy.
No difference.
Yeah, I mean, that'll work out good. This is a little bit lighter microphone. It's still pretty weighty for no bigger than his, but then again, that other one's got the shock mount on it, so that's kind of a nice thing to have. But as long as I'm not knocking the microphone around and stuff, it should be just fine.
I mean, honestly, for what we're doing, we're just usually sitting here. It's not like you're doing something where I'm not saying you don't. It is nice to have a shock mount. For what you're doing, you're not like playing tennis or something and then trying to like run with the microphone in front of you. There's a good example of where a shock mount would be nice. But if we're just sitting there talking about something, not entirely necessary.
Like TK says, 3D print one. No violent live streams.
We need to see what happens when we go off the air. Then things get really crazy.
That's when we really get violent. Yeah, I think we saw Rick up here, didn't we? Yeah, Rick is here. How you doing, Rick?
How could you forget Rick, dude? I mean,
I just saw him pop in for just a moment.
Killing me, Jimmy. First you and your microphones, and you forget Rick. What a horrible, horrible stream this is becoming.
It is. By the way, what is our subject for tonight?
Well, mister, I came up with the subject for tonight's stream.
I forget what it was. It's been kind of a long day.
Okay, I always give Jimmy a hard time when he always asks me, so what was the topic again that I told you about last night? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, no. No, Jimmy actually had a really, really good thank you, Wellbot. You read the title. Pretty much
large spools.
Pretty much, this is a very good point that Jimmy made, and this is something that I can also attest to from working at a job where we did large prints that would usually consume close to or over kilograms worth of filament over the course of a print.
You said kilo.
I said kilo. Yeah, kilo is the good stuff. I think they're trying to replace it for me. If I ever get sick or die, I'll just get Wellbot in here, and he can totally play me. I mean, he's got it like down in the chat. No, but the point is, when you think about it, the average spool of filament here, I'll use this. Protopasta tends to sell their filament in 500 and then I believe 2 kilo and 5 kilo spools. The point I'm trying to make here is there's nothing wrong with the smaller spools if you're running a machine like the Thingomatic or even the Ultimaker. But when you get into machines sizes like the A30, like what Jimmy has, or a G-Max or a CR10, or just any large format printer, a Raise 3D, something like that, the problem becomes you're going to be burning through so much filament. Even if you're trying to be conservative with how much filament you're using, you're still going to burn through a ton of filament over the course of the print. You're probably gonna have to do a swap. So our thought was, well, is something like a 1 kilo going to become like the standard? Maybe even 2 kilos become the standard size. I've seen 5 kilo spools. My old job, we ran 5 kilo spools of Tallman T-glaze, and I was always terrified the wall mounts we had were going to rip out. But you know, those, you'd be amazed how fast you could burn through those over at my old job with the prints we were doing.
Well, so that's the point that I was getting at whenever we're talking about it was, you know, as the size of printers are going up, but let's face it, 3D printers, especially the ones that use the filament, the FDM printers, they have come to the point where they're needing to make them larger in order to accommodate the size stuff that we as consumers want to print. The thing is, every one of the manufacturers, the standard is still 1 kilogram rolls. And until now that we're going to larger format printers, I think the filament companies are going to have to step up and start producing larger rolls of filament. Either that, or there needs to be some kind of innovation on the 3D printer side of things in order to allow a person to take 2 or 3 spools of filament and have it where if it senses that one of them is running out, that it splice almost like the pallet, splice the next piece, the next roll of filament into the line so they can keep on doing it. Either by using a multi extruder motor, like on a boat for a Bowden tube, to have it where it can be multiple extruder motors that they'll feed until it runs out of filament, and then the next one feed, so that it's a continuous print.
No, it's a fair point. I mean, it's something that smaller format people don't run into, but a good example is when you did my giant coin. Okay, that spool was under 500 grams of filament, and you came close to hitting the maximum because you did scale it up. But the point is, when you're doing prints on the A30, a 1 kilo spool, unless you're doing the print completely in vase mode, and even then, depending upon the size of it, you might actually come very close to running out or running out on print. You're gonna, you know, have issues, and I feel like companies need to, the filament companies, I know that it would probably take a little bit of work, but I don't see why it wouldn't be possible to get a bigger spool. They make bigger spools. They're not like some horribly inconvenient thing. I mean, they're using spools that wire comes on commercially. Those come in all various sizes and shapes. You know, there's that to keep in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be, they got to do something about it. I mean, just like with this, it's got a filament sensor so that it can detect when it runs out. So whenever it comes to the end of the roll of filament or whatever, or there's a break or whatever, and the filament passes through that sensor and there's no more filament, it doesn't just pause the machine. It shuts off the hot end. It shuts off the heated bed. But the problem with this particular printer is when you turn off the heated bed, the print releases. It's the only printer I've had to where you walk in when this is finished printing and you just go like this, right off the build plate. You don't have to peel it or nothing like that. The biggest problem is there's a power outage and it's got the real restart on it if you want to restart, all that. But the thing is, that print is just sitting on the build plate at that point because that bed is cooled down.
No, I mean, King Random said the reasoning behind it was the shipping weight, which is a fair point. But when you think about it, if you're having to order 4 1 kilo spools for a print, wouldn't that weigh about the same as 1 4 kilo spool? You know, most of us, not all of us, but most of us, when we buy filament, we're not just buying 1 roll of filament. And that's not to preclude that smaller rolls don't have their place. I mean, it's like good case in point would be Protopasta's new tangerine orange metallic filament, which I'm dying to get my hands on, and I might buy a sample of it. In that case, having a smaller spool, which is something, having a smaller spool isn't a bad idea for somebody who's not going to use it a lot, but at the same time, doing big prints, having the option to do a big old stinking spool isn't a bad idea either. I think it's one of those cases of is mainstream, but offering it, I think, will be more of an option in the future. And also, when you think about it, the amount of quote waste from one big old spool versus 4 or more smaller ones using a, say you got a 4 or 5 kilo spool as your main one versus 4 or 5 small spools, the amount of plastic to make one big spool, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just something to keep in mind there. And then obviously I totally get for everybody in Australia or internationally or things like that, shipping would be a pain. But I do think as time goes on, we're going to see more and more local filament producers coming out. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I can attest to how much it costs to ship stuff to Australia. One
Or
of the
anywhere
winners
international for that.
is from Australia for the roll of filament. So I was pricing it to send, a roll of filament is what, 2.2 pounds?
Yeah.
A kilogram. So I just, for fun, put in for that and that as being 3 pounds. Even though I know it's still less than 3 pounds. I just did it just for giggles. $35 if you do first class postage, and $75 if you do it priority.
That is insane.
But yet we can buy stuff from China and we pay $2 for shipping.
You want a shipping container full of stuff? That'll be $20. Okay. And yeah, I know conversion ratios play a role into there, but still, I mean, like we said before, it is so subsidized probably by both sides. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
And we're not even having to pay customs, import, VAT, duty, anything like that, to the best of my knowledge on it. Or if we are, it's so little, it's pointless.
Sending to the U.S. from here would make you cry. I could imagine. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so this is a. I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but there were some times where at my old job when I was doing machining stuff, it was actually cheaper for my boss to buy a plane ticket like the day before we had to go fly somewhere to deliver parts down in San Diego, from like San Jose down to San Diego area. He'd literally buy a plane ticket, fly down there with like the parts in a little baggie, go down there, rent a car, go to the people, drop them off, go back to the airport and fly back, because it was cheaper to do it that way than it was to get like UPS to overnight the parts to there. And I'm all like, okay, that works.
Hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a good example of, for some situations, actually, I mean, it's like case in point, my mom flies Burbank to Oakland for like $49, $59, depending upon the pricing with Southwest. I mean, theoretically, you can carry 2 free check bags with Southwest. So theoretically, if you had to haul a whole bunch of stuff up, put it in there, fly it up, and fly it back, but yeah.
King Random says he wants to know where his little wrench is.
Everybody's begging for wrenches today. Oh my gosh. People,
Calvin's stingy with his wrenches.
I am very stingy with my wrenches. Calvin giveth little and Calvin taketh away little.
Oh my goodness.
Calvin also has had a crappy
What would Calvin do?
What would Calvin do? Not give anybody a freaking man. I'm just kidding.
He says he's gonna mute you.
Oh gosh.
Oh man. So I saw that G-Tech has released that they are going to produce a resin printer now.
That's pretty cool. My one thing I will say that I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about the aesthetics of it. I think it's beautiful. And the thing I don't get is why they have the side panels of it set up so that you can see in. Let me go find a image of it.
Photon in a new box. Yeah.
Isn't that what everything is? It's just a relabel.
Pretty much.
Here. So here's the image that I'm talking about. I do like the flip front. I think that's cool, but I don't get why the top right there is see-through, and then the two sides are see-through. Only reason why I say that is, you know, oh, now everybody can see it. Fail. So what I was saying is the thing I don't get is why they pretty much have the thing see-through from like 4 out of the 6 sides. Obviously on the bottom you got the projector, and on the back there's no point, but I don't get why the sides are see-through when really all you need to see is the front, and because of the way the vat is, you're not really going to see anything anyways.
Well, those are also artist renderings too, so there's no telling what's going to actually come out looking like.
Right, and I get that, but I'm saying is if they did it like that, that's my one complaint. The other thing that doesn't, granted they do it this way, is why is it open on the side instead of the front?
Yeah.
You know, and you're totally correct in saying, correcting me on the, yeah, it is an artist rendering, but if that is how they're going to produce it, those are a few things that have me scratching my head like, what? The only reason why I say it about the sides and the top potentially being see-through is, even though it's UV protective plastic, it'll only block so much, and DLP resins tend to be more photosensitive than SLA resins because the projector's power is less. So that's just something to keep in mind there. But it is an interesting looking machine overall, I gotta admit.
King Random, LOL Jovi, it will be an FDM printer for the light show.
Oh my gosh.
Lasers! Pew pew!
How many times did you say that when we were going to and from Vegas?
How many times did I say it that day when we were building that printer?
How many times did I want to whack you over there? I'm just kidding.
And then Curtis got into it. Pew pew! You're like, stop it, stop it. Then by the end of the day, you're going, pew pew.
Just to get back because you were so, it was late in the day, so I figured it was time to get payback.
That'll be interesting to see how it turns out.
Yeah, and I'm genuinely curious. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but Pia Poly, the people that make the Moai, are actually working on a new vat design that uses a film in it that you print on. Don't know what benefits or drawbacks that has over the vat that we use currently with a silicone base in it, but they are also designing a print surface that actually has leveling built into it, so you don't have to crank the knobs on the bottom, which is interesting.
So you're still using your Moai?
Dude, am I using my Moai? Right now, I am running extremely low on resin, so I need to get more in, but I am using the heck out of that machine. Good case in point. This one is not the exact model. It's down in the garage right now, but this is a custom little steam tram locomotive that I've been working on. I cranked out the other day some prototype detail parts for one of the locomotives that I have, so I'm going to be sending these out in a couple of days. Yeah, been using it a lot. The problem is, it's like I used it and ran out of resin, got more resin in, used it, ran out of resin. Life got busy, moved, school. Now I'm using it again. I'm like, great. Now I'm gonna have to like move the thing out of here in a couple of months, like a month and a half. That's sad.
TK says he's not using the Moai since he got the Photon. My question is, how much is the resin on the Photon compared to the Moai?
I pay for Matter Hackers about $90 a liter USD for if I were to buy resin from there.
I think cocaine's cheaper, isn't it?
I think you can get it
Speaking of
cheaper.
kilos.
You have to do the weight to volume conversion, but yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so yeah, you can get it cheaper if you buy it directly from Pia Poly, but the problem is it's coming from China, so it takes a while, you know. But I do like running the Pia Poly brand resin just because, not because I'm a total fanboy, it's because it out of
Yeah,
all the
you are.
resin,
You're a fanboy.
no, the reason why is because it's engineered for that specific machine's parameters. And I've had the best results because I've seen other people try other brands and stuff, and they're like, you know, it works, but it takes a lot more tuning and tweaking. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to pour the resin in the vat and print, not spend all my time trying to tweak settings and things like that, you know. And also, a lot of other brands tend to smell really bad. They smell worse than the Pia Poly stuff.
Oh God, is that possible?
Oh, there's some brands of resin that it's like you open the container and you're like, I'll be right back. I'm going to come back in my level A hazmat suit. You know how when you go to mix up like Bondo, that stuff smells horrific. And then you mix up like 5-minute epoxy and you're like, I smell nothing. TK said, if I, what did TK say? You said that if you got, I'm assuming resin for the Moai from Pia Poly, he would have to pay about 18 pounds import tax. Let me do the math on that. That's about 24 bucks import per liter on top of what he was already paying. That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
But
to me, that's one of the biggest drawbacks when it comes to a resin printer is the price of the resin.
it is. And honestly, that I know part of it is it's just UV curable resins just in general are a bit more expensive than other resins because it's a very specialized thing. But yeah, it is definitely, it is a drawback to it. And that's partly why getting resin prints made either by yourself or professionally are so expensive. Is partly just the resin is stuff costs more than oil.
Of course, once Ono comes out and really, takes over the market.
Oh, gosh, how long has it been? Wait, I guess I was told.
I think it all started about the same time that one company came out with the laser 3D printer. What was the name of that one?
Glowforge.
Yeah, I think they came out about the same time, didn't they?
I think they went to Kickstarter around the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that we're getting about the same amount from each of them.
Well, here's a funny story. Me and Danielle on Sunday, I didn't know about the talk. She goes, "Oh, I'm gonna go to some like laser cutting with leatherworking talk thing. You want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got absolutely nothing planned for the day. I don't even know who the heck is gonna be here. Sure, why not?" And then I'm like, "Oh, it's a Glowforge. Oh, cool. Dan Shapiro's gonna go up there and give his little blah 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 speech. This is gonna be fun." So I actually went in there with high hopes that I'd actually see the machine working because I really wanted to see it doing its thing because the Glowforge booth both days at Maker Faire was like good luck getting within 20 feet of the thing. There were people just like practically stampeding to get in there. It was like
back of cell phones or something.
Yeah, you could, if your phone had an anodized aluminum back, you could draw a design and then they would, at your own risk, engrave it on there. But they had
cut through your phone.
Me and Danielle snarkily were joking.
I accidentally hit vector.
Me and Danielle were snarkily joking about that, like, "Oh, is it going to like cut like an octopus shape out of your phone or something?"
Look, I have a tentacle. It used to be an iPhone.
battery starts catching fire. No, but I actually had high hopes. I really wanted to see the machine doing its thing where you could draw a design and then like somehow move that design onto the part. You know, I really wanted to see them do that. And then they had the oversight. Then they had totally forgotten, do we have a stable Wi-Fi connection at the booth to do it? They didn't. They couldn't do the demo. We walked out like, dude, that was stupid.
Well, sorry guys, we can't print. We don't have a Wi-Fi connection.
That's pretty much what Dan had to do. He literally had just like this tail between his legs. Looked like the dog that just pooped and peed and tore up the couch and knew it was going to get yelled at for it. And it just has this like, yeah, I'm sorry I did that. He just had this look on his face. Like you could tell, I genuinely felt bad for him that the demo wasn't going to work out because obviously they had a couple more demos planned throughout the day. And I don't know if they were able to get it to work or not, but it was just like, wow, that was lackluster to say the least.
And not one person said, don't you have a cell phone on you? Why don't you tether it?
I don't think it works. I don't think the software would work through a cell phone. I don't know.
It should. If all it needs is a connection to Wi-Fi, you could do a hotspot on your cell phone.
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like the whole thing was
but
like.
Then again, I'm not the technology person.
If he goes back in time and goes, hey, I got a hotspot on my phone, Dad.
Oh, you do? Oh, well, you know, I forgot. There'd be some other excuse.
Well, here's the other thing that really irritated me. Eons ago when they were doing their Kickstarter thing, they were talking about how, oh, yeah, we're going to also sell this filtration unit thing with HEPA filters, da-da-da-da-da. And then he's talking about maybe sometime in September we'll start shipping. Yeah, okay, dude, seriously? A year and a half ago, you said at Maker Faire to Lauren from A-Buzz Designs, sort of swearing on a stack of Bibles that you were going to ship the thing. You're like, oh, yeah, you know, we're going to start soon here. And then it took like, what, another year or something? You know.
Well, Pod is really in a mood today. Hotspot on your phone is just begging to be his act.
Maybe Wellbot went out and had some happy pills before he came in here. This is awesome.
Oh, shizzle.
No, that is honestly a good point, though. When you do a public Wi-Fi like that, you do open yourself up. I'm no tech expert, but you definitely can open yourself up more to the potential of being hacked, which isn't good.
That's why you just do it on the download. You don't tell anybody that you did the hotspot. You just do the hotspot and do it.
Yeah. Yes, you do it. Jimmy totally just invoked Snoop Dogg and he totally one-upped me and it's totally not cool. How dare he?
Okay, well, boss says had Snoop Dogg playing just shortly before the stream. Yeah, most hotspots do have a password. Like even mine, whenever I do it, there's a password that and you even with a password, you still have to say yes. Go ahead and connect.
Yeah, all I can say is my recent experiences with Wi-Fi was on Amtrak with their horrible didn't work period. We got Wi-Fi on our train. Yeah, your Wi-Fi doesn't work. Just remove it. It does not work.
You do it says gin and juice. FTW. No, okay, now which FTW is this? Is this for the win or is this the other FTW?
Oh my gosh.
So you've been sipping on gin and juice when you go down there to LA, Calvin?
No. No, when I went down.
You got your money on your mind and your mind on your money?
What?
You got your mind on your money and money on your mind and all that?
Yep. Looking at my money going, oh my gosh, buying a dehumidifier and renting a U-Haul for the family and stuff. Yeah, that adds up. Oh boy, that adds up really fast.
You do it says for the win.
I am waiting for my refund check to arrive in the mail. No, really. I will say though, compared to a moving company though, it is cheaper, but by the time you get a U-Haul and get the insurance on it before you even put gas in the thing, it's like 500 and some odd dollars. It's like, ooh. Oh well.
Teresa says money? What's money?
Green, make the money, dollar bill, y'all. That thing.
Still saving my money for a scanner. That's a pretty good idea. I wish I had a scanner.
They're cool. The only problem I will say with them though is you do have to do a lot of cleanup because there'll be a lot of just random triangles out in space that it's scanned in there. So you do need a really good computer to go in there and just, you know what I mean.
So I got a question for you.
Yes.
That place up there that you and Angus saw, did they ever open up?
The one on Fisherman's Wharf. I haven't been out there for a long time, but let me look it up. I think they did a while ago because I sent you the photo of it saying that they were open. But that was like 6 months ago. And you're all like,
"Check that place out, man."
Let me think. Yeah, I found it. Yeah, they do a sandstone print of you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much do they charge?
I'm trying to figure that out.
$500 setting fee. $300 print. With this sand PLA.
Oh, gosh. Okay, pricing. Here we go. This is what Jimmy wanted. Okay. Wow. Okay, so here, if you just want a scan done of you, an unedited scan is $49. So what that means is it's just the raw scan, so you have to go in there and clean it up yourself. Or if you get it edited where they denoise it, get rid of all the orphan triangles and crap, that's $59 plus $30 per person.
That's actually not as bad as I thought it would be.
It's actually not too bad. Now, I will say the one thing that I've wanted to do is, and this would not be cost effective with this in the least, would be to get my hands on like a structure scanner or something similar, or even just do like photogrammetry of people in various poses, and then take them and 3D print them to be models on a train layout, because a lot of the people just look horrible. I'm like, why not just take scans of real people in real poses, scale them down, and use that?
Yeah.
But for something like that, it would not be cost effective. But it is cool that you can actually do that. You know,
need to go there. We need to go there and do a video on it.
That'd be cool. I could be your video guy because I just like rock the video camera.
You have to give them a call or something to see if they would be up for doing like an interview or something.
Here, I'll put the contact information up. Yeah, I don't want that. No. But yeah, no, that is definitely, it's interesting. I still, if you guys never saw it though, back before it was even open, in the video where Angus and I were roaming around San Francisco, he finds it, and we totally ad-libbed the whole scene where he's like, wait, we have got to film in front of this. And mind you, this guy was like totally burnt out, but somehow he found it within him to film that whole scene where he's ad-libbing the whole thing about his new venture out there. And I'm like, dude, that is gold.
decided not to go back to Australia. Now I'm going to open my own business here doing 3D scans.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm going to try and find that clip so I can show you guys. It is absolutely hilarious. So you guys can watch it afterwards. Show you guys. It is okay. Got the link. Go back before it hates me. Boom. So when you guys get time, feel free to check it out. I promise it is absolutely hilarious. Yeah, Angus is a good kid. Beth, Jimmy's wife, thinks he's like the cutest thing in the world.
Oh, she's in love with him.
I still love it.
You'd take him above me any day. Every time I go to watch him, she'll go, is that Angus? He's so cute.
I will never I will never forget when we were having our not so top secret Friday night hangout over at Red Robin before Maker Faire, and I had both you and me both had Beth and Danielle turning so red faced, and we were talking about Angus and everything. I wish we had that on camera. That was gold.
Take care, 3D printer noob. Thank you for joining.
I got your message, TK. I'll check it out later. Does like everybody die or something?
I'm about ready to. It's been a long day.
I was like, you're doing good, and then
running out of Pepsi.
In short, Jimmy is running out of go-go juice.
Running out of caffeine.
Hey, I'm almost running out of my green tea, so what can I say?
So you got the same problem. You're running out of caffeine.
Oh, man. What a day. What a week.
I know.
So I have to ask, no worries if you haven't, have you had any time to reprint the Nugs caddy?
No, I haven't. But as soon as I finish the stream, I'm going to run into the other building, see if I can find the red. If I can find the red, then I'll start printing it in red. Do you want the body to be white or do you want the body to be red?
You choose. Honestly, I'm not too picky. I did want to do whatever part you had more of. I thought it would be cool to have it with the red and white Chick-fil-A theme in it, but it doesn't really matter which one's red and which one's white because some of the boxes are white, some of the boxes are red. I don't think it really matters. I mean, the logo on the sign is all red with the white of the chicken on it, but when you get the cup, it's the white cup with the red chicken. So,
which would you rather have it?
Honestly, not crazy picky. I mean, part of me says though making the body red would probably show less stains and stuff, and making the handles and stuff in white would look cool. But
that's kind of what I'm thinking too. I think the body of it looked better in red. It show less dirt, and
I do have to say though,
spilling all the barbecue sauce all over it.
Polynesian sauce, okay, it's the best. Done.
You gotta get the Chick-fil-A sauce too, though.
Hey, okay, funny true story. I actually
Chick-fil-A sauce, aka Thousand Island dressing.
Yeah, not my thing. I'm trying to find the filament that Mr. Carroll Science sent me, and he's not in here, so I can't directly thank him, but I think it's over here. Here we go. Mr. Carroll Science, shout out to the guy preemptively because I need to start filming the episode here soon, sent me this, which is kind of hard to see because of the lighting. It is Tallman Tea Glaze Aqua, which is about as close as you're going to get to turquoise. And man, is this stuff beautiful.
That is nice. Man. This
is going to be one lit Nugs holder for my friend. She's going to freak out.
So when are you going to remodel that with the hashtag, what was it? Hold my nugs or something like that. What was it you're going to put on it?
Which hashtag? There were like 10 of them.
or D's Nugs, or what are you gonna put on it?
I'd come up with all kinds of great names. So I was thinking it would be hilarious to like emboss in like tiny texts in various places on the nugget holder, various things having to do with nugs, like D's Nugs and Protect Thy Nugs and Nugs for Life and things like that. Find some
Nugs for life.
I'm gonna find some subtle places to hide it. It's gonna be hilarious.
What box says Jugs for Nugs? Oh my goodness.
And then Jimmy made a really bad remix of Milkshake with Nugs, and I'm like, oh please no. So bad.
You laughed.
I laughed, but it was also because I know the original song as well. I'm like, oh, that is just so wrong. So Bill's saying that he has some brass fill that he can't use. He thinks it's the color fab. Yeah, honestly, I never could get the color fab brass fill to print, period. I only had luck with the proto pasta stuff, and then I believe it's an unrelated clog in my nozzle because I didn't notice that previously I was having some issues, and yeah, I had major clog when I was trying to do a time lapse of hairy brass lions. So I'm waiting to see if I can't get my hands on some more brass fill to try that out, but we'll see.
Bobot says my milkshake brings all the nugs to the yard.
Oh gosh, no. Oh. No, okay, now I need the brain bleach. Reaper, when you're done with it, can you send it my way? Because I need that stuff bad.
So what brand nozzle do you use on your printers?
Right now, I'm actually just running some cheapy brass nozzles that I really don't care
There's
about.
your problem, man. Get you some micro Swiss, man.
I know, but I'm trying to be cheap. Okay, I'm waiting to get paid for my 3D prints, and then by the time shipping is done, maybe I'll have enough for a micro Swiss.
No brain bleach for you. Yes, I need to make a Harry Calvin.
I know. I need to get the scan of. I need to do the photogrammetry of my head, and then make my head pop on a train and give a friend of mine nightmares for the rest of her life, probably.
Yes, Wellbot is killing all of us tonight. He's really. I want some of whatever he's had.
3. Oh man, I could use some.
Micro Swiss and killed it. Oh no.
They don't last forever. They definitely last longer, but they're definitely not like the end all be all. I mean, the ruby nozzle is great, but I'm not even gonna go.
I can't bring myself to spend like $80 for a nozzle. I just can't do it.
How many of those did Dustin get? He's all like, oh, I got an Olsen Ruby. Oh, I got like 3 of them now. And I'm like, dude, seriously? You just like mostly print straight PLA. What? Why? I don't know.
Well, what's only had coffee? Man, that must be some strong coffee.
Down in the coffee, dude. You don't know what they do with that stuff. No, you do it. We're not hating on the Ruby. It's just for average Joe stuff like us, it's we really can't, at least I can't personally justify spending $80 on a nozzle when $80 could get me a lot of filament.
Maybe someday when we start making all that YouTube money.
I'll put it this way. If I got an Olsen Ruby in the mail, I wouldn't knock it. But I'm also saying I'm not printing enough abrasive stuff to justify doing it, to be honest. I mean, $80 will practically get me a liter of Pia Poly resin. So there's a good example right there.
I feel the same way about the Ruby as I feel about Simplify 3D. It's a really, really awesome deal. It really does the job it's supposed to do. It's just Is it worth that much money to me?
Well, I mean, let's face it. If I was printing my GoPro rigs and accessories in say carbon or glass infused
Yeah,
nylon all day long, dude, Olsen Ruby
all the way.
paid for itself almost instantly.
Right.
For the little bit of abrasive filament printing that I do nowadays, not worth it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a micro Swiss for like what, $15?
Yeah, I mean the micro Swiss just in general I find work better because they're very smooth inside. They got the coating. I notice things tend to stick less. They're
Yeah.
nice, but they're not that much more expensive than just a regular E3D nozzle to begin with. So you got that advantage there as well. They cost just about the same. So yeah.
Unless you're going on eBay and buying all the little brass nozzles for like what, $5 or something, free shipping.
Actually, the nozzles I'm using now are somewhat similar to that. I bought a long time ago because I was thinking about doing dual extrusion on the Ultimaker. I got a knockoff Olsen block that came with like 5 free nozzles with like the $10 or $20 Olsen block. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good deal. It's like you're getting a free Olsen block or an Olsen block and 4 or 5 free nozzles. Sure, you know. TK says that he prints a lot of glow-in-the-dark PLA. It eats nozzles, so he's happy to pay a couple of quid for 5 nozzles. Yeah, it's that case of am I able to get away with swapping out nozzles occasionally, or spend a lot more on one nozzle and hope it lasts?
Right.
Man, it won't even let me post my link because I used too many dollar signs. Me.
You mean you're being blocked from posting links?
I was being blocked because I put $3 signs right next to each other. And it's like, sorry, you can't post that. I'm like, I'm the admin. So I put $, space, $, space, $, and it approved it. And I'm like, what?
Just use pressure washer nozzles. There you go.
Okay, here's one thing I will say that's funny though is people, I guess, have found, I don't know what the quality is, don't know what the mounting is. People have said that you can get the nozzles for professional water jet cutters. They use a ruby as well because a lot of water jets use an abrasive garnet in them. So you need something like that. The irony is some people have actually, I guess, modified their hot end so they can use those. And they're like, hey, look, I got a cheaper Olsen Ruby. But I don't know what the diameter tolerance is on them. I don't know what the threading is on them. Don't know any of that specs. I don't know what if the engineering inside is even correct for 3D printing, because I do know that you need the nozzle set up in a certain way so you have enough of a melt zone and you don't have too abrupt of a transition so you get buildup. There's a little bit more to it than just goes hi, I made a nozzle. That said, though, I do wonder how well they work price wise compared to a regular Ruby. So
yeah,
who knows? But I'm happy sticking with what I got. Well, you want to wrap it up at 9?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds good.
If not sooner.
Well, if Jimmy wants to jump off, I can keep the stream going till 9.
Nah, I'll stick around with you. I might be propping myself out here on the table to do it, but
oh man. So I don't have it with me because it's still in the mill because I'm figuring out the last of the machining, but I am working on one of the last things for my giveaway that I'm working on is I'm making up for one of the grand prize things is a titanium coin that has my engraved on it. So I finally had some time to actually go downstairs and start programming it and start running it out. And so far, it looks awesome.
cool.
So I'm hoping sometime soon to start doing the giveaway. Like I said before, it's going to be relatively small, but it should be pretty cool though.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. I'm also working on the last batch of bottle openers as well, which is kind of sad, but at the same time, the reality is they never really sold. So I'm probably going to include like 2 of them, maybe 3 of them with the giveaway. So we'll see.
You do it. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And thanks for joining.
Have a good one. So who was it? TK was asking you, Jimmy, how's work going?
It's one of those things where if I can ever get the people hired, I need to get hired. I think things will even out. But right now, it's just a matter of finding people who will come and work. It's just right now, I'm just trying to find people who will actually apply. And then once they apply, pass a drug test.
Good luck.
You'd be surprised how many people still think that even though weed is legal in the state, that's just fine to go ahead and smoke all the pot you want and then go to pass a drug test. And then when you don't pass, oh, I didn't know. I was like, well, there's a difference between federal mandate and state. It can be legal in the state, but if a company goes by federal standards, you can't have that in your system.
Yeah, people keep forgetting that just because something is legal at the state level doesn't mean that you still can't be prosecuted for it or be held under federal law for it, because that trumps state law, no pun intended.
Yeah, you did. You totally meant that one.
Where's the drum set?
Yeah, that's King Random's got it right, and that's actually what I am going to end up doing is start targeting those kind of places to see if I can find somebody that wants to come work. The only problem with that is they want to get the job there to get the experience, and then as soon as they get the training, then Honda, Toyota, one of those shops snap them right up and they go running over to them.
Well, I mean, one thing I will say, back when I was in the machine shop program at Semi Adult Ed, we had a lot of companies that would either fax in or email in or even just personally drop off, flyers saying, we're looking for this kind of person, because you have people in there from all different skill levels, no experience to a lot of experience, and they're just doing the program because their job wanted them to get a certificate that said, they went through training on something so they could give them a pay raise or something. So it's actually quite common for those places, and they do actually appreciate it when companies will bring in, application forms or saying, hey, we're looking for XYZ person, because it gives the students, people coming in there, they can get an idea of, oh, this is what I can go on to. And 2, it gives the students something, to look at.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do it, said make a requirement that you need to work 2 years or you have to pay back money for training.
That's actually a good idea.
I would definitely put something in there that said, we're looking for somebody who's here for the long haul. We're not interested in somebody who just wants the training and wants to move on. Because some of the applications were literally like, unless you have these requirements and these kind of disciplines, this is useless to you. They'd literally say that on the application, like, this is what we're after. So don't waste our time and your time even applying if you don't meet these basic criteria after. It seems harsh, but it's actually good that the company is upfront and honest, saying, this is what we want. This is what we're after. And it's up to you to decide if that is the kind of environment that you want to work in.
Right.
But that way it also saves kind of that awkward feeling of going in there on a blind date, almost going, well, what's the working environment like? But when you know ahead of time that they want a really driven person, that's good, because then you can go, yeah, this is what I want. This is the kind of, environment I want to work in, and go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, all I can say is I genuinely wish you the best, because I mean, I feel like having been to your Sears back when you were working as the appliance sales guy, my dad sent me an email this morning going, the Sears out in where I grew up is actually closing. I'm like, well, the problem with that store is it was
Thousand
washed.
Oaks.
Yeah, like that store washed up 10 years ago.
Yeah, I heard about that earlier in the week that they were going to be closed. There was 10 announcements are now that were made, and that was the one that was in California.
Honestly, I can't remember the last time. I remember going in that store like 8 or 10 years ago and literally just being like, where's everybody? Like literally, it was like walking into some like creepy post-apocalyptic wasteland practically, where it was like, did everybody get raptured out of here? Are there zombies or where is everybody?
I know. It's man, oh man.
And then I go into your guys' Sears and it's like there's people in there, and I'm like, but then again, it's kind of like Walmart, at least the one in Simi Valley that I'd go to is kind of always kind of eh. And then I go out to the one in Midway, Florida, and it's like it's open 24 hours and they've got everything in there. And I'm like, yeah, it's just the demographics of the area are totally different. Certain stores are going to cater to it well. It's like if you popped up a Whole Foods out in Salinas, I don't think it would last very long. You know, you pop up a Whole Foods out in Thousand Oaks and you're going to have a line out the front door, people wanting to go in there.
Well, they have one over in Monterey, and that's always busy. But yeah, you're right. If they put one in Salinas, it wouldn't last.
No, you put a grocery bargain market out in Salinas and you're going to have a line around the block.
Oh yeah, our what's that that chain that's out here, the Family Bargain Market or something, Bargain Market or something like that.
Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about, where their big thing is selling wine, but they have like the groceries and stuff that are like on the verge of being too old to sell, but they still sell it anyway.
Yeah, you definitely know that they pretty much get like probably truckloads of stuff in every night and going out that's hit the we can't legally sell this anymore date, which is kind of a controversial thing. But yeah, I've been into those stores before, and if you know what you're doing, you can actually get some very good deals on stuff that's still perfectly fine, but you can get it for a lot cheaper because it's at the sell-by date. You know, which is kind of.
I got a confession to make.
What?
I went to the Dollar Tree the other day. They had a great big display. Have you ever seen those cans of Rust-Oleum waterproofing stuff?
No, but talk more. I'm interested.
So you're supposed to be able to spray your work boots with it, and you get mud on them, and it just cascades off of it. And it's meant for like sealing like paint and stuff like that, so it won't get wet, it won't get dirty. It just nothing sticks to it.
Kind of like Scotch Guard.
They had two spray cans in a package for $1.
What?
And I didn't get any.
Shame.
I know. I need to go back over there, but I got a gut feeling it's probably already gone by now. Because that stuff, if I remember, it used to be like $5 or $6 a can.
Easy.
But yeah, you're supposed to be able to spray on about anything and nothing sticks to it.
I remember years and years ago when we got a new minivan, and literally no sooner did they roll the thing off the truck it came on than my mom's like in there with cans of Scotch Guard. Don't get in the car, kids! I'm going to Scotch Guard the whole thing! Literally.
They don't even sell Scotch Guard anymore, do they?
Nah, they still do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because I heard they outlawed it.
Well,
probably just here in California. They outlaw everything in California.
It sucks to be here.
Oh, you like that? Well, guess what? You can't have it no more because it's against the law.
Drives across the border, buys a boatload of it, comes back, life's good. I didn't say that.
Like up in San Francisco, you can't even buy a large drink.
Or if you can, they tax it like crazy. "Oh, it's got sugar in it. Okay, we're gonna tax it now." I'm like that.
Okay, in that case, I'll take 2 mediums.
It's like literally when I'm driving home, I'll be going along Potrero Road before I turn off to start working my way to the house, and I'll go by a McDonald's, and you know how they got the 99-cent giant drinks?
King Random can't wait till your 3 states. What was it going to be? Northern California, Southern California, and Central California?
Something like that, but it's more of a symbolic vote. It can't happen without a literal act of Congress.
Yeah, and Congress ain't going to sign off on that.
No. We all know it would fail within
It's a waste of time and money right there.
You know how many stupid symbolic okay, without getting political here, I did rant about that and said it's crap like this which makes people stop voting, period. Because then they go, what? How much of this stuff on the ballot doesn't even do a darn thing? Put exactly. On a whole separate ballot called opinion poll. Done.
Cali is definitely another state of Australia. Oh man. Well, it's 9:04. Let's call it.
Let's call it. I'm getting toasted.
I need to go take a shower, and then I need to go to bed.
Well, thanks again, everybody. Sorry if we didn't keep them on chat too well tonight. Both me and Jimmy have had a long couple of days. But for all of you Americans or any of you, you know, in other countries who celebrate the 4th of July like we do, have a happy and safe 4th of July, everybody. Don't do anything too crazy.
Just remember, 4th of July is meant for what? Barbecuing, drinking, and lighting off fireworks. What a combination.
The Smokey Bear says, leave lighting the fireworks to the parents who have been drinking all day. It's a great idea.
Exactly.
Technically, in San Francisco, fireworks are illegal, but it sounds like they're carpet bombing from like the day from like the 3rd to the 5th every night in San Francisco.
I don't know if you just heard that just then. I just had one go up right next door.
Oh,
out here, they've been using a lot of the big mortars. They've been putting those off like crazy. And this year, they're actually going to have drones trying to find out where they are firing them off at, and they're going to send people in to go grade them.
Not a bad idea, because I will say those big ones cause quite a lot of house fires because they go off so close to the ground. You still got burning shells coming down.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. America,
baby. The American way.
Guys, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next week over on my channel.
Have a good one.